Shalom, Israel. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who teach and rule well at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, The Last Days of America. The Last Days of America. Babylon. And this, I'm going to play this video, something that I was watching. And, you know, it's going into the American, the military, on how this is becoming a major problem, because, you know, we're entering the Third World War. This is the last, the war of wars, the war of Armageddon. And America is struggling. You know, they are struggling to recruit and to fill their military. And they're also, in the American military, you know, they're allowing transsexuals, and they're giving the women, you know, these general and sergeant, you know, they're like making the woman, these women, the front line of American military. And a woman has no place in the military at all, you see. And on top of that, you're allowing transsexuals and you know, these different type of you know, things, individuals into your military. And I was looking at something Apostle Tahar put up yesterday, and dealing with the Russian military and the American military. I think it was a commercial that they put up, and, you know, they were pretty much advertising and the women, the American women in their military commercial. And then you look at the Russian commercial, and, you know, they were advertising the men. And, you know, it just, you know, it don't look right. You know, it don't look right. And this is the war America's going to lose. And you also have a problem with, you know, these veterans that have been in the army and military for 15, 20 years. And they're trying to, you know, they mandated the vaccines, the Beetlejuice, that if you don't take it, then you can't serve. And so that's another problem. So the GOP is trying to figure out, should they, you know, drop it, or, you know, continue on with it. But all it is just weakening the military. But this is all through the power and the spirit of YAHAWAHSHI, that this place is finished. I'm gonna let this play, and then I'll give a couple quick scriptures, and then I'll close out. Call Allah Yimla Allahayana Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI.
Says every branch of the United States military is struggling to meet their recruitment goals this year. The all-volunteer force is not being filled because the amount of people eligible to serve has diminished due to issues such as drug use, criminal records, obesity, and possibly even the COVID-19 vaccine mandates. And joining us now to discuss is Tom Spoor, retired Army Lieutenant General and Director of the Heritage Foundation's Center for National Defense. Tom, welcome. Good to be with you, and thank you for your service. First off, I want to get your thoughts on this recruiting crisis. How do you think we got to this point, and how serious is it?
Yeah, Tracy, it's about as serious it's ever been since the start of the all-volunteer Army and military in 1973. It's never been this bad before. And frankly, we have seen this coming for a while, but I think the Pentagon has really ignored the warning signs. In 2018, the Army missed its recruiting goals. They scrambled around a little bit, but they really didn't take any decisive action either way. And so I think we've probably seen this coming for a while. I think the tough labor market and maybe the pandemic accelerated things.
Yeah, Tom, what do you think needs to be done to bring up the recruitment numbers?
Yeah, Tracy, a number of different things. But I think the first in my mind is that we need to reconnect America with its military. I think you can go through wide swatches of the United States, and people, they don't even know what the military does anymore. They don't know what the lifestyle is like. There's been a recent survey of young people that said that 50% of them don't even know that you can have a recreation or a hobby when you're in the Army. And so that, that speaks to me that they really don't understand the United States military anymore. And we need to get military people back in some of these states like the Dakotas, New Hampshire, Vermont, in order to reacquaint them with their military.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I want to talk about sort of, really on a serious note, with the recruitment numbers so low, I'm wondering what this means, for our national security, especially as our top military threat, China, is really building up its military.
China continues to grow its military. Their budget went up 7% this year. Ours did not. And frankly, Tracy, has some bad implications for our own national security. And the clearest indication of that is the United States Army is cutting its size by 12,000 soldiers next.
See? He said they're cutting the U.S. Army is cutting their military by 12,000, by next year. See, this is the Lord. He's weakening this place, America, man. I got a couple scripts. I'll close out, but let me go to Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah 28. It says, and it reads, "Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion." You see, everybody's going to turn on this place, America. The Lord is, he's tearing down this place from within, with the food shortage, the droughts. America is gonna tear its own from within. Their own people is gonna tear this place up. But then it's also gonna be an invasion and from Russia and China, and they're gonna invade this place, man. So America is surrounded, especially up there around that Canada border. And these ships out here on these the Pacific and Atlantic, and America is surrounded. You got North Korea, less than 5,000 miles away, and they're testing these missiles, and they want to blow this place up. And they're one of many countries, but there's going to be a draft. America's going to have to do a draft, and Russia is backed into a corner right now, and enough is enough. And the Lord told you too that in that time that the Medes, they're not going to regard neither silver or gold. They're not going to want nothing but to just blow this place to pieces. And this is what's coming.
So it's actually shrinking because it doesn't believe it can recruit the necessary number of soldiers. And so that's a trend that we don't want to happen. The Army was already very small. If it goes down by 12,000 as it plans to, it will be the smallest army that we've had as a nation since 1939.
We brought up the COVID-19 vaccine mandates earlier, and more than 60,000 soldiers now are not allowed to participate in their military duties due to their refusal to get the COVID vaccine. I want to get your reaction to that, especially, as we're seeing the military struggling to recruit people.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it, Tracy, coming up. I spent 36 years in the Army. I had to get innumerable numbers of mandatory vaccines. I think the number is 17 vaccines, not some of them annual, but some of them less frequent. And so as a soldier, I was used to getting mandatory vaccines, but I also can see what's happening as a result of this COVID vaccine mandate. There's statistics that say that young people, 33% of them haven't gotten the COVID vaccine, and they have no plans to get one. And so as recruiters try and recruit people, they tell them, hey, you come in the military, you're going to need to take the COVID vaccine. And that turns off a significant portion of people. We don't know that number, but it has to be big.
See? So, this place is divided. You have a lot of military veterans and stuff. They're just totally against that vaccine mandate. And this is just due to the leadership. And then with that Dr. Evil, spreading these lies about that vaccine, taking that Beetlejuice, how it's gonna stop these pestilence. You see, and this is one big giant wall full of lies. This is why this place is gonna go. You see, because the leadership is just completely corrupted. Let me hop down to 29. I'll stand Jeremiah 51 and 29. Jeremiah 51 and 29, and it reads, "And the land shall tremble in sorrow for every purpose." See, and the land shall tremble in sorrow for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon. Every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. This place, America, is going to be one giant wilderness, just a big giant desert from the east coast, from the west coast of California, all the way down to the other side of the east coast, New York, and on down. All this land, America, is going to be finished, man. It says 30. Salakia. I'll go to 30. It says, "The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight." See, the American men and women, really the American men, they don't want to fight here in this place. And especially the 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23-year-old average American, they're too into partying, eating pizza, going, living that American pie, it's a party in the USA. They want to party. The life is too good for the average American. It's too good. You can go to the bars. You can watch all your sports. They want to hang out and chill. And, they're not into this, man. This is why America's going to lose this war. And they're divided. These men here in America don't want to fight. They don't want to go. No way. They're trying to go to college, to these universities, party and be famous. Their minds are so far away from war. This is why America is going to lose miserably in this war, in this last war. This is the last days, man, of this place. It says, "The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight." They don't want to fight here. They have remained in their holds. Their mighty hath failed. They became as women. And there's going to be, in this time when that draft come, they're going to be running. They're going to be running from this. They're not going to want to go. We see it over there in Russia. You got people, Putin declared that draft, and you have been trying to get out of the country, trying to get out of the city. See, they don't want to fight. They don't want to fight. It's going to be the same thing over here, but you ain't got no other choice, you Edomites. It says they became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. See?
Yeah, and according to this NBC report, they're saying that of Americans who are ages 17 to 24 years old who are eligible to serve, that only just 9% had any interest in joining the military. Such a low number. I think the lowest since 2007. So I'm curious if you have any idea why there's such a maybe disinterest or, not an interest in joining the military.
Yeah, it's a number of things, different things, Tracy. One of them is the very strong labor market. I don't know where you work, but where I work, there's companies paying $15, $18 an hour to young people, that are still in high school to do jobs. And that's fairly extraordinary, and that the Army and the military has to compete with that. So that's one, the strong labor market. But then there's also this belief, that the military is becoming increasingly politicized, and you'll get that from both sides. The left, views the military sometimes as a breeding ground for extremism or racism. And then the right views the military as woke and a social experiment. And so the military is in a very difficult position right now, kind of being battered by both sides. And young people are very attuned to this. They pick up on these dimensions in these conversations, and they wonder to themselves, why should I join such a military?
I'll leave it right there, too. I got one more, or two more, and I'll close out. 31, it says, one post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. This place is gonna be infiltrated, invaded. The people here are going to be at war. The division is going to be white person versus white person. The tribulation here, the buildings are going to be torn down, ripped apart, burned up, the famine. I mean, this place is going to be turned into hell. It tells you the wicked shall be turned into hell. It says 32, and that the passage are stopped, and the reeds they have burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. Salakia. Last one, 33. For thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Shalom.